Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a different video today. I do a lot of product reviews, overviews, disassemblies, maintenance, unboxings. And I do some weird projects and stuff, and the occasional like tag video, right? But I don't do a lot of like top 5 this or best that, and I wanted to try my hand at it and just see what happens. Um, so I wanted to talk about the best or some of the best budget knives, right? And I'm going to be honest. There's one knife in here I don't know the price of, and everything else is sub $100. Let's just start with that one first, and then I can be sure that everything else is sub $100. I know the price of everything else. So this is going to be some of the best budget knives, or sub $100 knives, I'm calling it, okay? Honorary mention, or whatever you want to call it. This is the Finch Devil's Finger. I just got this in from Finch, which is why I don't know the price, because I didn't buy it. This was given to me by them graciously, and I very much appreciate that, for review. Now, most of their knives are in the 130 range, I'd say. The 1929, the Holiday are in that range. I think the Tycoona and the Runtley were a little more, like 150. And then the Cimarron was like 89. So that's why I'm not sure. This does have the 154 cm steel that they use on the more expensive one. So my gut tells me this is going to be more like 120, 130 because it's micarta and 154 cm. I will say, materials-wise and everything, I think sub 100 would make sense for this knife. So it's possible it is in that $90 range where the Cimarron was. So I can't be certain. I wish I had done research that before I hit record, but for some reason I just didn't. So anyway, this is kind of an honorary mention to the sub $100 knives category, okay? It's very cool. It has a good textured micarta on it, a fantastic deep carry clip that is reversible. Not quite all the way to the butt end, but because of the shape of this handle here, it works very well in pocket. I will say that initially, upon unboxing this, I was not that enthusiastic about this knife, and you may have seen my unboxing by now. I don't know. But the more I've carried it, which I've carried it a few times now in my left front pocket, because I can, that makes it easier for me to carry because I have less knives that have reversible clips or are lefty than I do knives that are dedicated righty. So whenever a knife like this comes along, it finds my pocket a lot more. I can do a review quicker because I carry 2 knives a day. One left-handed, front left, one right-handed, back left. And usually the back left pocket is the one that's crowded, right? I got to move stuff out of there. I got to, find a way to carry things. But this had a reversible clip, made it easy, right? The flipper tab is kind of your traditional Finch flipper tab. But for some reason, it doesn't kind of have the same feel to it that the others do, in my opinion. Like the Holiday, the 1929, they don't feel like this. To me, this feels a little more pokey. I don't know if it's just the angle where you're kind of coming down on everything, but feels kind of pokey right here, and then you kind of go over it, and then, light switch it. Just a little different. I'm not saying it hurts. It's just you can see that you're not going to want to push button this, right? D10 doesn't really want you to do that either, so there's that. But it does work very well once you get the light switch down. I do apologize in this video. I may struggle to disengage knives. This thumb is a little bit jacked up at the moment, and shoving it into lock bars kind of hurts right now. So it's not the knives. I'll mention it if it is, but it has this cool satin 154 cm blade. It's a spear point. I think it's a good looking knife. It's not my favorite Finch design, but I do think it's a good looking knife. It's very comfortable in hand, although you do feel that clip in your palm. You do have your traditional sort of Finch finger choil, or flipper choil as I call it. Works fantastically. This knife has a flat grind, or a saber grind, sorry. and decent stock. Just a good knife. The way the way Spencer kind of described it to me when I was chatting with him is, you know, they didn't have a sporting knife, and that's what they wanted. Something that you could just take out and use and not worry about, and it has micarta, so you have a good grip on it. You could do a little bit of work with this. He's not saying it's a work knife, but it's something you could take with you on a hike or something, and if you had to do some stuff, you'd be good to go. And we're talking about like a backup to your camp fixed blade. You know what I mean? Not replacing something like that. I don't want people to misunderstand that. Action, very good. You know, the lock bar is a little bit mushy, like lock bars can be. Liner locks can be like this. You kind of have to just shove it in and away, and it does sort of just feel like you're mushing it in. That's kind of one negative of a steel lock bar like that on a liner lock. It is dead centered. It's a really cool knife. So that's the Finch Devil's Finger. That's the honorary mention. Everything else here is going to be sub $100. First up is the Asher Knife Co. Silva. You're going to see a couple Ashers because I love Justin over there. He sends me knives. That helps, obviously. Their knives are outstanding. And they're all under $100. So it just makes sense for the materials you get. They're just great. This knife right now is out of stock, and he doesn't know if he's doing another run. I've tried to implore him to do so because I think it would sell quickly. This is an absolutely fantastic knife. This was my budget knife of 2020. So this is a $98.50 knife, so $98.50. It's dead centered. It's an S35EN, and it is a titanium frame lock flipper. Okay, so all titanium and S35EN. It has a reversible clip, and yes, that looks like a ball sack or a butt or boobs, whichever one you want to call it, which is hilarious. And Justin had no idea when he designed it, and neither did I when I got it. And then Kyle, DTO Knives and Gear, pointed it out in his review, and it's been a running joke ever since, which Justin has taken extremely well, and he's just a great dude, and it's just funny. It's not a big deal, but it's funny. So I love this knife for that reason. I love it because it's my favorite budget knife from last year. The detent is fantastic. The flipper tab has no jimping. Some people would call it a pecker. I'd call it a perfect flipper tab. It pops out of there with, I mean, almost no effort, but also not needing more detent. It's just absolutely perfect. Light switch, push button. This thing is incredible, guys. S35, as stated, flat grind or saber grind, whatever you want to call it. It has a decent edge on it. It's not the thinnest behind the edge, but it's sharp as hell. Got this beautiful stonewash blade on it. Man, it's just so simple, yet gorgeous. It has a deep carry clip. Not to the butt end, but it's great, guys. It's reversible. Works for lefties. And watch this. What? Did I say $98.50? Out of the box. This is how it came out of the box. I mean, it's just stupid. So, needless to say, I love this knife. For being flipper only and sub $100, it is actually one of my favorite knives in the collection. Now, I'm not saying it's like top 5 or whatever, but it is one of my favorite knives in my collection. I love this thing, okay? So that is the Asher Knives Silva. Next up, we have the QSP Penguin. And you could probably, pop in a couple different variants of this. I don't actually personally own any anymore at this point. This knife here was graciously sent in by Brandon Thrasher, so please go check out his channel. It is Brandon Thrasher on YouTube. He's an absolutely great dude. He's become a buddy, and I very much enjoyed chatting with him. And this is his QSP full titanium Penguin. I've had multiple versions of this. I've had the blue jean micarta, denim micarta with D2, and I've had the raindrop carbon fiber with S35EN Knives Plus exclusive. Both of those are liner locks, and both of those sported a reversible clip. This titanium version does not, which kind of sucks. But I will say the D2 one with denim micarta is like $30 now. I got mine for 20 on a drop.com thing back when they did that. But $30 for D2 and denim micarta with fantastic action on washers. One of the best, it's probably the best budget knife you can get, to be honest, is the Penguin. The Knives Plus version with denim micarta and S35EN is, or was when I got it, $60, $59.99 I think. And then the Raindrop Carbon Fiber with S35 Knives Plus exclusive was $70 or $69.99 when I got it. This version in titanium with 154 cm steel and obviously titanium, I already said that, right hand only clip on bearings, which is different. This knife goes for, I think it's like $92 or $93 I've been hearing. It's a good knife. It's a great knife, especially for the price point. It's a little bit of a smaller knife. You know, it's got about a 3-inch blade on it. I can measure that for you if you want. I got this measuring tape finally. So I think it's 3 1/4. Yeah. So you got 3 inches essentially of cutting edge, maybe a little bit less, and 3 1/4 inch blade in general. So, I mean, it's not a big knife. 7 inches overall. I think the Spiro here, did I call this the Spiro? It's the Silva. I think is 3 1/4 inches on the blade, just slightly bigger, which is more my preference. I would like that. Yeah, 3.5-ish to the scale, 3 1/4 on the cutting edge, 7.5 overall on the Silva, just for reference there. But yeah, very cool knife. You can see the action. I've taken this apart, cleaned it, tuned it, dead centered, perfect detent on the studs. You can lefty reverse flick it, even with that lock bar. It's just not, it's not causing issues. If you ride it up too high, yeah, it'll lock up, you know. Well, there you go. Let me try riding it like right here and see what happens. Yeah, oh, that was stiff. Yeah, so, you know, you just want to be normal about it, and you'll be fine left-handed. I will say, I found more with this titanium version for some reason that it's too small for my hand, even though I don't really remember that with the other ones I had, which is weird. I think it's just because the micarta kind of melted a little more. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. My hand has grown, or I just didn't care back then that my hand hung off a little bit. You know, you can see there. You could choke up to this flat if you wanted to, and then you have control. Absolutely fantastic Warney blade. Anyway, I've spent plenty of time on this. Lovely knife, the Penguin. Comes in all different price points, sizes, not sizes, handle scales and blade materials, all types of choices for you. The next knife is my current 2021 budget knife of the year to this point. This is the White Mountain Knives exclusive Artisan Cutlery Mini Orient, or Small Orient. Sorry, I'm going to check this light real quick. Oh, all right. Thought it was down a little bit. The Small Orient, and the reason why I wanted this knife and why I love this knife is because it's a liner lock. So that is what's exclusive to White Mountain Knives, I think, is the size and the liner lock. They do have a full titanium frame lock Small Orient coming out, also a White Mountain Knives exclusive. That'll be out in early November, I believe, at White Mountain Knives, so keep your eyes out. You can use my code LEFTY10 if you want. You'll get 10% off your order and free shipping in the U.S. You can check my review on this knife, on any of these knives, really. It's just a fantastic knife for $75. You get this awesome red coral reef micarta, whatever they call it. It's AR RPM 9 steel, which is their proprietary steel. I don't know why I can't get this to like... Can you see it there? There you go. AR RPM 9 right there. AR RPM 9. Serial number. There's Cerberus Knives, Maker's Mark. Over here is the Artisan Cutlery logo. There's an up-close shot at that beautiful satin blade and that red coral reef micarta. There's the liner lock. Good lockup on this guy. Just a fantastic knife. Really nice deep carry clip. Goes to the butt end. Even though it's not like a cool milled titanium clip like the full size comes with, I prefer a deep carry clip. Now, the slot is small, right? It's not very tall, but you can get in there. It's the way they finished it. It catches your nail, bang, flies out. The downside to this knife is the size for me. So again, just like the Penguin, I'm kind of cramped in here and I want to hang one off, right? And I don't have a choil. Having a choil would be fantastic, but it's not there. Disengaging is fantastic. You'll see the action is absolutely great. $75. I mean, this thing is a no-brainer, in my opinion. And like I said, right now, it is the budget knife of the year for me. And right behind it is the Civivi Riffle. So, both fantastic knives. That would be on my list right here if I had one, but I don't. I sold it. But I absolutely love this mini Orient, and they're making a full-size liner lock version. I cannot wait for that either. Although I would prefer a 3.5-inch knife, you know, if you stretch this out to those dimensions, 3.5-inch blade. The full size is about 4-inch on the blade, which is just overall it ends up being too big, especially with a neutral handle, right? You don't have any kind of choils or anything. So one huge ass handle just doesn't feel right to me, but if you have a huge hand, it will. That is the small Orient. And before I get to the last one, my favorite actually, I want to show something that's not a knife, but is under $100 and extremely valuable. This is the Vero Engineering Fulcrum. I absolutely love this thing. I carry this thing every day. And I use it all the time, especially the bit driver. You can pop in 2 bits here and secure them in the O-rings. You could put a Phillips and a flathead if you wanted, or like I have a T6 and a T8, so I can pop that in and adjust my knives as needed. Then you have the pry bar area down here. You can also use as a flathead if you want. This is actually a gift from my brother Kyle, D2M Knives and Gear. Big shout out to my brother. This was probably the best gift I've received in this community because I use it all the damn time. Yeah, it's just a fantastic thing to have on you. It's super lightweight. It's about 5 inches, fits right in your back pocket, and disappears. Such a good tool to have, and there's plenty of different versions of pry bars or whatever, but you can get them for sub 100 is what I'm saying. There is cool stuff out there that is not knives. Like, for example, that pry bar, this flashlight is $55 or $60 from Raylight. It's called the Pineapple Mini. This thing is fantastic. I have a tritium vial back here, and then there's kind of like a glow-in-the-dark crown. And you could set it to basically different percentages of power. So I have mine set to like 10%, 50%, 100%. So every time I click, I get a different percentage of power, basically from a smaller beam to a huge beam, right? So I can rotate through very easily with half clicks. And it's just a very simple flashlight, but it's small, it's slim, it pockets very easily, and lastly, this clip is the best. It's also gorgeous. I have the polished titanium one. I think I had a stonewash one, but I gave it to Kyle. I don't know who I gave it to. I always give them away, I think. I don't know if I gave him one, but anyway, this clip is fantastic. It is much better than these Olight clips that people like because of the hat thing. Problem with it is this thing catches on stuff, and I've lost my flashlight because it'll catch on something and come right out of my pocket. I lost this one for like a week one time. Not this one, I'm sorry. My i3T that had this clip on it. And then I just hate this clip part down here. It's just too big, and then that'll bend real easy. So I like the Olites, but this thing is just fantastic. I do have one other thing. This was $100. This is the Damn Designs Prana, and I guess in place of, you know, any other spinner you can get that's cool like this, has a spinner on it, has a clicky click thing, and it has a slider. I did a video on this. This is not for me, guys, but I could see the value in it if you work in an office and you can't whip a knife out, or if you have some kind of stress issues or it helps with anxiety or something. A lot of people like this kind of stuff. These things are all right around 100 or less, 59, 70, and I think this was 100, but if you get steel, I think it's like 80. So just keep those in mind as well. Just wanted to kind of show that. Now, my last knife that is sub $100. This is my favorite, you know, budgety knife or whatever. This is the Asher Spiro in full titanium. This thing is ridiculous for the price. I mean, you're talking maybe $90 for full titanium scales, right? They're not milled out, but that weight feels good, right? Deep carry clip that is reversible. You get these beautiful big thumb studs, right? Very thin and slicey blade. S35 VN steel. All of that for sub $100. And the action is incredible. I have this one on Gillian bearings, but you don't really need them. It was just as good before. Absolutely stunning. Lefty reverse flick works fantastically. The ergonomics for me are just perfect. It's just a little bit bigger than those other knives I was showing you. At least it feels like it in the handle. Let's see. Let's see if I'm crazy. Yeah. See, that scale is just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger down here. And what that does is gives me a better grip. I can get all four on very comfortably, and I don't need a choil. I absolutely love this knife, guys. I carry this actually a good amount. I'd probably say I carry this 3 or 4 times a month, which, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, I'm reviewing knives all the time. You know, I'm rotating through stuff, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I go to this knife a lot. It's absolutely one of my favorite knives. Look at that, dead center. Just a gorgeous piece. It really is. Justin knocked this knife out of the freaking park. I cannot wait for the full titanium Nomad, which is another great option. Really, any Asher is a great option. This is the stainless steel, or the steel frame lock version of the Nomad frame lock. Super duper thin. I mean, if you want a bug out killer, Jesus, this thing is super thin, lightweight. Now, it's not gonna be bug out light. It's a steel frame lock, but it is thinner. That's for damn sure. Great action. Reverse flickable, and it's about the same size as the Spiro. It is the same size as Spiro. This is coming out very soon in a titanium frame lock with M390 steel at right around $100. It's gonna freaking blow the top off the market if it comes out right, which I think it will, because Justin always takes care. So yeah, so this is my favorite sub $100 knife currently. That is the Asher Spiro in full tie. You have the full tie Penguin. You know what? One of the big differences between these two is, other than that little bit of handle scale and the blade material, reversible clip. If they had put a reversible clip on this, I would definitely have one. This is the frame lock Nomad from Asher. Hey, let's put all the Ashers together. I got the Silva right here, and I got another 3 or 4 over there, guys. I love Ashers. Just bang for your buck is ridiculous. There's that Penguin, and then you have the small Orient from Artisan Cutlery. So that's just some of the great EDC knives you can get for under $100. Oh, and I had the Finch Devil's Finger here, which was an honorary mention because I'm pretty sure it's over $100, but it's near there. So check these knives out, guys. There's plenty of other options. I just wanted to put a video together showing off some knives, just talking about stuff, and maybe just trying something different other than review this, review that, right? Let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see more stuff like this? I don't have 100,000 knives. Like, I really don't. I mean, I maybe have 40, and a ton of them are loaned out right now, and a lot of them are like 10 of them are like junk knives that were gifted to me that I love, but like, you know, they're not real. And then I have my higher end stuff. So I don't have like all these budget knives I can whip out like a lot of channels do, because I just don't keep stuff like that. I sell them, I give them away, because if I'm not going to use it, I don't want it, you know? The knives that stay in my collection are either very sentimental or I plan on using them / carrying them, because if I don't carry a knife, it's on the block. It gets traded, and if it's a budgety knife, you know, it gets given away on my live stream or on the edge or for whatever, you know, milestone I hit. It's just not worth it to me to keep knives just on ice, right? And I'm not going to keep knives just to make videos either, so there's that. But I could try to do stuff like this. You know, I was thinking I could do one that's like 500 and over, or, you know, 2 to 400, and then maybe like, you know, best Asher knife, best Finch knife. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I can try to do more is what I'm saying. If you're into this stuff, guys, if not, let me know as well, or let me know what you think I should do. But make it something feasible that I actually, you know, can do. But I would really appreciate that feedback, guys. I appreciate everybody who watches, listens, everybody who interacts, leaves comments, all my patrons on Patreon. Big thank you to you guys. I know I don't do enough for you. I love you all. If you want to sign up for Patreon, there's a link below. It's usually the top thing in the description. And then there's my links to affiliate stuff and discount codes for you guys, of course. So that's it, guys. I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.